Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another video here on BNN, the Bodybuilding News Network. I'm Saunch, your host, as always, and we're going to be running through the prejudging footage for the men's open bodybuilding division at this year's 2022 New York Pro. And before we start, or actually it's going to start anyways, regardless, please go on Instagram, pause the video, and message Fit Imagery and let them know that the fans would like the cameraman on the live stream camera to stop spanning the freaking camera all over the place instead of just leaving it center. You're going to notice I have such a hard time covering this footage because this guy just constantly spans back and forth. He doesn't even give you a free shot, like a full shot of all the competitors. It's so obnoxious. I'm losing my mind trying to cover this. I just kept going through the footage. I'm like, there's no way I can do this. So bear with me. Ladies and gentlemen, blessing Awodibu, spot on, looking very, very sharp. I wouldn't say as sharp as the Indie Pro, but I think he looks good. I think he looks almost good enough to walk away with the win here. And now there is going to be some conversations to be had the farther we get into this video. But Justin Rodriguez, again, not really his best condition so far, his best shape. He has looked better. I think he can look better. Maxx Charles, probably one of the best packages we've seen of Maxx Charles this year. I've seen a couple different people say he looks really, really sharp. I expect him to be in the top 3 again, just like he was for the Indie Pro. But the big upset, and in a good way, is Andrea Presti. Now, he was not on my coverage for my my preview video for the men's open bodybuilding because he wasn't on the scorecard. He must have been added within the last few days of the scorecard where I didn't see it. And wow, am I happy he's here. Him and I am drawing a blank here. Theo Leguerrier. Now, Bob Ciccarello said Theo Leguerrier. I don't know who that is. I don't know if he speaks French and I don't, but Leguerrier looks a lot different than Lugahi. So somebody please let me know how to say Theo's last name so we can lay this to rest or just roast Bob for yet another time of him not knowing who the athletes are and how to say their names. It's phenomenal. I know I do it terribly, but I'm on a YouTube channel, people. I'm not on the stage or behind the stage on the mic getting paid to cover shows. So it's a big difference. But really the story here, Andrea Presti, just looking so big, good conditioning as well. Also Emir Omeragic, he looks good too. I think that there's been a conversation to say that, maybe he should probably take some time off and put some muscle on. He's only 23 and he's consistently landing around the 5-6 spot in these shows. I don't see him improving in his placings. I just don't think he has enough muscle. Yeah, we talked about Andrea Presti. We talked about Emir. Theo Leguerrier, I think he looks pretty sharp. It's got to be hot on stage. I didn't see the 212 guys or the classic guys sweating too much, but these open guys, they are sweating buckets. And it's really messing up their tans. So I'm not sure if they just turn the heat on or if it's just because these are just a lot bigger fellas. I'm not too sure. Petar Klancir was scratched from the show. He didn't show up. Bruce Nolte, he was not competing in the open as well. Ross Flanigan was scratched and Paul Baker was scratched. So a few people that didn't show up or just did different divisions. I think specifically for Paul Baker, he did classic instead. But guys, it's a good lineup. It's not crazy. I'm waiting till we get farther into the competitive season where we're going to start seeing some of our favorite names popping back up. But it's unfortunate. I was thinking about yesterday, like how many of the top 16 pro bodybuilders have passed away in the last 5 years. And it's been a lot, guys. It's been a lot. And it's going to change how we look at bodybuilding because some of our favorite athletes, Cedric, so many people, I don't want to get into it too much, but really, I think that the takeaway here is Blessing is on. He's sharp. I just don't know if he has enough left in the tank. He's not as sharp as Indy, and it was only a week ago. I don't know if he's as sharp to hold off Andrea Presti, because Andre, I think, is bigger. From the back, I think they're both, moderately weak, especially in the lower body. But Blessing is just so bubbly and full in the upper body. I think it makes up for his lower body that's lacking. And I think that's going to be the big conversation is, who's going to win that comparison. And then they're moving him now because they were doing a little too much elbowing, and Blessing was getting a little too mouthy. Again, I don't like that. I don't like how I've heard from other competitors at the Indy Pro. He's borderline disrespectful backstage, and he treats things like it's a YouTube video. So I don't know if he just doesn't get a lot of social interaction with like normal people, or if he's just constantly in his acting mode. But I'm hoping that it doesn't cause a little scuff off stage, because if you run your mouth to the wrong person, something might happen. And I don't want to see that happen to really anyone, especially in our sport. So big takeaways, guys. Justin Rodriguez, I don't know. I didn't think he looked too bad. I definitely think he's bigger than a lot of these fellas, but I think the judges are trying to either send him a message, or he really does look as bad as what the judges are saying. And you can see here, Emir Omeragic looking super sweaty, just the tan just pouring down his chest. So it's got to be super, super hot on stage for those guys. Do not envy them at all. And that'll do it, guys, ladies and gentlemen, for that first call out. A lot of the people that we really like, Douglas Fruchey, Dorian Haywood, we've had both of them on the channel. They are in the second call out, unfortunately. But we will see you guys in the finals for men's bodybuilding. And I'll also cover women's bikini in just a second. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I'm Saunch. This is Bodybuilding News Network. If you enjoy my style of content coverage, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.